friends, and welcome to another movie review episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Poorly Written. It's me, Luke. I'm a writer, director, and film editor who has worked in Hollywood for over 20 years. Today, I'm going to be talking about Super Mario Galaxy, the latest animated film based on the classic Nintendo game. I'm not going to do a full plot recap, but there are going to be some spoilers, so you've been warned. Now, let's go! A quick caveat. Some of my critiques of the film might seem a little picky since this is a kids movie, and I get it. If you played Super Mario Galaxy or other Mario games and just want a fun, cute movie full of member berries, then you'll probably like this film. But there are kids movies that only kids enjoy, and kids movies that kids and adults enjoy. And if you're hoping for a film like the first Super Mario or Toy Story or Puss in Boots, then I think Mario Galaxy will let you down. And I'm going to be exploring why. There are a number of reasons why I think this film doesn't work, but one of my main complaints is that none of the characters have a strong dilemma. Or if they do, the film just skips past it and doesn't really wrestle with the two horns of their dilemma. Let's break it down by looking at the film's two main protagonists, Princess Peach and Mario. First up, Mario. His dilemma is save the princess or I don't know. He doesn't really need to choose between any two things at any point in the script. He just goes from A to B to C. Peach's dilemma is follow this strange Luma simply because it said it knew her and leave Mario in charge of the Mushroom Kingdom, or stay home and be bored? I'm not really sure why she would go, but she also doesn't have a real compelling reason to stay. Like, what is the downside to leaving? It's not like we've seen Mario being incompetent at running the kingdom, and when Peach is gone, he actually does a pretty decent job. And I don't understand why she would go with the Luma. She doesn't know the Luma, or Rosalina. She only knows that somehow Rosalina knows who she is? So Peach's motivation to go is just that she's a good person who likes to rescue people? Basically, she leaves
so the movie can happen.
Rosalina, on the other hand, had the potential for a very compelling dilemma, but she's sidelined for almost the entire film. We never see her grappling with her dilemma. It's just mentioned by another character in exposition. When Peach is searching for Rosalina, she discovers a storybook that tells the tale of Peach's life. She learns that actually Rosalina is her big sister, and they are both born of stardust and would have been too powerful if they were together. So Rosalina abandoned young Peach for Peach's safety, because if they stayed together, a cosmic threat would have been after them. How did Rosalina know what happened to Peach after she threw her down a warp pipe? No idea. Why did she spy on Peach but never try to contact her? Also, no idea. Mario Galaxy doesn't show Rosalina grappling with her dilemma. But let's think about the two equally poor choices she must decide between. Rosalina can decide to abandon her sister and keep her safe, or Rosalina can decide to stay with her sister and put her in danger. This is actually an interesting dilemma, and one that could have been played out on screen. Imagine if the story had done this instead. Peach is in danger from a small threat, and Rosalina knows she is in danger. Rosalina has to decide between rescuing her sister and risking the cosmic threat, or ignoring her sister and letting her suffer. At first, Rosalina stays away, but as things get worse and worse for Peach, Rosalina can't take it. She has the power to end her sister's suffering, and she's racked by guilt for abandoning Peach in the first place. So Rosalina, against the counsel of her advisors, goes to Peach to rescue her from this small threat. At first, it's a wonderful, happy reunion, but then it's revealed that it was all a trap. The small threat was really just a setup from the cosmic threat. Now, Rosalina's decision has a consequence, and things are much, much harder for both her and Peach. Like, maybe getting them together was the only way to power Bowser Jr.'s world-destroying Boomsday weapon. So it was Junior that concocted this trap. In the film that they made, Junior is able to power the weapon with just one of the sisters. But the entire reason Rosalina kept them apart was because it was too dangerous if they were together. Then, later in the film, when the sisters are finally together, instead of things getting worse for them, they magically turn Planet Bowser into a green paradise. Like, which is it? The film breaks its own internal logic and world building. It sets up a reason the sisters have to be apart, but then it doesn't pay off that reason, and it actively shows the opposite. There's another equally interesting dilemma with Bowser and Bowser Jr. Quick recap. At the end of the first Mario movie, Peach feeds Bowser a blue mushroom and shrinks him down to a tiny size. Then he's put in a mini prison. And this is where we find him at the start of Mario Galaxy. He's still tiny, and he's still captured by Peach. It's soon revealed that the main antagonist is his son, Bowser Jr., and Jr. is trying to rescue his dad. Bowser, on the other hand, has been working on his anger management issues and trying to become a better Koopa. It seems that he's given up on his evil villain goals and genuinely wants to be friends with Mario and Luigi. Part of this is that he likes him, at least he likes Luigi, and part of it is that he still pines for Peach and is hoping she'll be romantically interested in him if he's reformed. He even goes as far as to offer himself as a servant to the Bee People so that Mario and Luigi can continue their quest to find Peach. But when Bowser Jr. rescues him, Bowser is forced to make a decision. Does he disappoint his son and remain true to his friends Mario and Luigi? Or does he abandon his friends and his oath to be good and return to his life of evil villainy? Once again, this is a great dilemma. Bowser has the opportunity to be a good dad or a good friend. He has to choose between his old life and his new one. Now, a heroic character would figure out how to do both. A tragic character would fail at both. But in Mario Galaxy, Bowser doesn't have any moments of debate or any wavering. When Junior attacks Mario and Peach, Bowser doesn't stop his son from trying to kill them, but he also doesn't help his son either. He just passively watches as Junior shoots his friends out of the sky. And from that point on, Bowser is firmly on Team Evil Villain. There's no self-reflection, no second guessing. He goes from being a reformed villain and trustworthy friend directly to 100% evil villain. And it's totally fine that he becomes a villain again. But the film spends a lot of time setting up both that he wants to be a good dad to Bowser Jr. and that he wants to prove to Mario that he's reformed. Then, when there's an opportunity to explore how these ideas are in opposition to each other, it just completely skips past it. Let's go back to our idea that Rosalina goes to save Peach, and by doing so falls into the trap that Bowser Jr. had set for them. Now, Bowser Jr. has the power he needs for his Boomsday weapon, and he's rescued his father. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi have managed to make their way to Planet Bowser to save Peach and Rosalina, but they are discovered by Bowser. At first, he captures them. Now they will get to feel what he felt all that time captured in Peach's castle. But as they talk with them, he begins to waver. He remembers the kindness they showed him and how they'd become friends. But at the same time, he is finally connecting with his son. He has a second chance to be a good dad. Now he has to make a decision, and whatever he decides will have consequences both for his personal relationships and the entire galaxy. All right, I know that's not perfect, and writing a film is hard. But hopefully it's a good example of how the dilemma that the film had already set up with Bowser could be explored further in a way that would bring more drama to the story. All right, to wrap things up, Super Mario Galaxy had a lot of fun moments. It had great animation, interesting worlds, and a score that did a delightful job integrating the music from the game. It also had a lot of fun winks and nods to the many Mario games. So if you're a big fan of the games, or you just want an entertaining film that's good for kids, you should see it. But if you're looking for something with a compelling story and satisfying character arc, well, you'd be better off watching the first Mario film. That's all I've got for today. So until next time, be good and write well.